Hi, and welcome to Riff Vues. Oh, Marvel. You know, a lot of people these days have been complaining that Marvel is pandering to the SJW crowd. And, you know, it's really hard to argue that point. Just look at what they've been doing. Such as Thor now being a woman and the original Thor being Odinson, I believe is what they're calling him. They're replacing a lot of their main characters that happen to be white males with minorities. You know, to be honest, I really don't have much of a problem with that. It's when it's done kind of ham-fisted that really gets on my nerves. For example, in Invincible Iron Man, which is being rebooted here, new series, because of the events in Civil War II, you had a black man, James Rhodes, who was actually Iron Man for a while. He ends up getting killed. And now Marvel is putting a teenage black girl named Riri Williams. I believe that's how you say that. Riri. It's kind of hard to say. She's going to be taking over the Iron Man mantle for a while. She'll be calling herself Ironheart, but it's kind of weird that I guess you had to one up since Rhodey was a black man, but she's a black girl. I guess it's a twofer. I don't know. But nevertheless, now here's something that I found interesting. Just saw this roughly about an hour ago, minutes after it went up. In the new Invincible Iron Man series, they're doing some variant covers. And one of the variant covers, drawn by J. Scott Campbell, has been pulled. This cover was just shown yesterday. And because of so-called backlash, it's already being pulled. Now, I looked at this and I thought that, well, maybe it's the pose. She kind of has her hand up, close a couple of her fingers, and she looks like she's doing that kind of stereotypical black girl, finger wave. I thought maybe that they drew her skin, they colored her skin a little too light. But that's not it either. It's because the comic cover is too sexual. Now, I'm showing you the other variant cover, the one where she's in almost full armor. This is the one right here that is being trashed. They're not going to be soliciting that. It's really weird. Obviously, I don't see a problem with this cover. They're saying that it's too sexual because Riri is a 15-year-old girl. So she's in kind of a tank top, bare midriff, yoga pants. Yeah, I see girls dressed like this her age. It's not like she's showing a lot of cleavage. Sure, I mean, you could say that she's doing the hip tilt, but that's just a stance. I mean, from an artistic point of view, if you were to follow the lines of her shoulders and her hips, you notice they are not parallel. It makes the cover more dramatic. From an artist's point of view, it's more pleasing. This is Art 101. You can say what you will about the anatomy of it, her torso seemingly stretched, but that's Campbell's style. And Campbell has been taking some flack on Twitter for this, and he has been handling it like a boss. It's been pretty funny to see. But, I mean, what does he care? He got paid to draw the cover. He's not going to make any money from every issue sold. I believe with cover artists, they just get paid the one time. So, but here's the thing. This is such a non-issue. And it's actually, Marvel, I bet they did this on purpose. Because, yeah, they have been pandering to the SJW crowd, and I don't think it's really working out very well for them, but, they get the headlines, and that's where this comes from. You see, this is a variant cover. When retailers order their comics, when your comic shop orders their comics, if they order X amount of the regular issues, they get the incentive to get a variant cover. And the numbers fluctuate. I'm not going to get into the business side of it. And then the comic shop can then, give this to one of their customers. As a thank you, they can more than likely raise up the price and sell it as an aftermarket item. So it's really not going to be hurting the sales of it. And as you saw just earlier, they're going to have another variant cover where she is in almost a full armor. So it's kind of like a chase of a chase piece. All this is doing is getting Marvel free publicity. I find it really hard that it was, canned, a day after it was released. Now, with the Spider-Woman cover, I can kind of see why people would complain about that. I mean, the material is right up her ass after all. Even though they've shown Spider-Man himself in that pose many times, I can kind of see where people would complain about it. But again, it's a variant cover. It's not going to be the one that's on the shelf for everyone to see. So at this point, I think Marvel/Disney is just playing the game. This is a non-issue. They're doing this for the free publicity to hype up the sales because, people have been a little ticked off that this 15-year-old girl genius is now suddenly going to take over for Tony Stark for a while when they already had a minority character who had been Iron Man himself in the 80s. Killed him off, make way for this new one, and that's a problem, is that these attempts that they're doing have been just so non-organic. It's like, okay, here's this great person, and everyone's going to talk about how great she is. And she really hasn't done too much in the comics other than run away from MIT. So, but yeah, this is a non-issue. Don't let this get your panties in a twist. This is just Marvel being Marvel, and the SJW Tumblr crowd that's going to complain. Marvel at this point is kind of being smart. Even if they're pandering, they're just using them for the publicity now. Whether or not it's going to work in the long term, I can't say. But we all know 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line, Tony Stark will be back and Ironheart will be in one of those Avengers Arena books and will eventually be in a team book and more than likely forgotten about. Do you have any comments? Am I wrong? Is this really a bigger deal than I'm seeing? I don't think it is. So leave comments below and let me know. Again, thanks for watching.